Hey guys, namaste. I'm just back from the gym and I thought I'd do a quick discourse. Whew, what do I talk about? It's hard to say. Let's see what comes through. Whatever you want in life, be it. As Gandhi said, I think I mentioned this before, be the change. Man, life is amazing. Life is just, wow. It just blows me away, you know. I mean, it is amazing. The last few years have just been so amazing. And I'm very grateful for all the blessings that the universe has bestowed. I just found out my son just became a doctor today. How cool is that for a father to hear? Very proud of him. And I don't know, I'm humbled by the blessings, the challenges, even the so-called misfortunes, which of course I have created myself. But if you're going through a dark time, let me just say this. You're making it all up. You're making it all up. But at levels. At the level in which you may be now, you may not realize that your higher self has created this scenario, this reality for you. And sometimes you need someone from the outside to come in and say, hey, this may be your dark night of the soul. This may be the time when, I don't know, you have some bad news. I would turn that around and say, look, there is no bad news. You know, it reminds me of a story of a man who had a son. And the son went out one day. He was on a farm in the country and in the desert somewhere. And he comes back with a horse. And a wild horse that he'd captured, and everyone said to him, oh, you're so lucky, your son just found a free horse for you. And the farmer just looked at them and said, maybe, maybe not. A few days later, the son was trying to train the horse, and he fell and broke his leg. And the villagers came up to him, and again they said, oh, that's such bad news. We're sorry to hear your son broke his leg. And the wise old farmer, he turned to them and said, good or bad, I don't know. Is it really bad? Maybe, maybe not. So anyway, war breaks out in the country apparently, and the soldiers come around and they are looking for soldiers to go to war. Guess what happens? They see his son, who's of fighting age, has a broken leg, and they said, hey, you're no good, we can't take you. And they took all the other sons of the villagers for fighting in a war, most likely to die. All of the villagers came to him and they said, how did you know? That's brilliant, your son got saved. He could have gone to war, and now he's going to be with you. And look at us, all our sons have gone to war and likely never to return. You're so lucky. Such good news. And you know what the farmer said? Maybe, maybe not. So you get it, right? It's all about perspective. In time, all bad news becomes good, and all good news becomes bad. I'll tell you another story. It just comes to mind. There was a king, a very powerful king, and he was wise, just like this farmer. And he was wondering, you know what? Good times turn to bad and bad times turn to worse. I want to know something, he said. I want to know something. And he proclaimed it out into the whole of the country. He said, is there anyone there who can give me something that will make me happy in a time of sorrow, and sad in a time of happiness, to remind me of the temporary, temporal nature of this existence? And his wisest viziers, his guides, were not able to give him that. And that's when this farmer I talked about comes along. Very wise guy. Anyway, he comes along and he gives a ring to the king. And he says, wear this ring. This is what you're looking for. It'll make you sad in a time of happiness when you're exuberant and everything looks really good. And it'll make you happy when you are sad. And the king looked at the ring. He says, are you joking? You expect this ring to give me that? Give this man 50 lashes. And the farmer said, wait, turn the ring around and read the inscription on that ring. The king notices there's some writing on the ring. He reads it. Guess what it says? It had 4 words in it, just 4. The words were, this too shall pass. The king thought about this and he said, weigh that man and give him his weight in gold. He's the only one who has answered my question, who has given me what I asked for. You see, when you're in a time of great happiness, joy, which is physically given by Maya, the earth matrix, rest assured it is temporary. If you have money, it's temporary. If you have health, temporary. If you have this body, it is temporary. It is the nature of this world that everything decays and is reborn. What comes from the earth must one day go back into it, just like our bodies. Even our bodies don't belong to us. But we continue, obviously, we carry on. So if you get bad news, remember the story. Remember these 4 words. This too shall pass. Now, whether it passes to a more positive timeline or to a more negative timeline depends on you. It depends on your next thought. The next thought seed will determine whether you go on a timeline which is positive and which is negative, a way towards greater bliss or misery. It's entirely up to you. It doesn't matter where you are right now. Where do you want to go next? And you can change it by choosing your right thought, word, and deed. Choosing the highest thought, choosing the highest word, choosing the highest action. If you want to know how do you know something is the highest? Well, one thing is you can ask your one question you can ask yourself is, if everyone in the world did this, would this be a better place for the majority? Ask yourself that before you think something is good or bad, because it's difficult to tell. Next, what is your highest thought? Your highest thought is the thought that contains love. Your highest word is the word that contains truth. And your highest action is one that creates the most joy for everyone whose life you touch. So that's a quick discourse. I hope you got something from it. Namaste.